Okay guys, this is the final part of What If Naruto Was God of Destruction. I'm going to end this series in this part. Also subscribe and don't forget to like. Hereafter I am going to do other series. And I have some few ideas. Okay, shall we go? Okay, where we left. Naruto was furious after Gaara's capture and resolved to eliminate the Akatsuki personally, sparing no mercy. He asked Merus for detailed information about the group, including their members and their objective of reviving the Ten Tails. Merus explained their motives and methods, which only fueled Naruto's determination. Discussing the matter with Kurama, Naruto learned about the Ten Tails' origins as the combined form of the 9 Biju, separated by the Sage of Six Paths to prevent its destructive power. This knowledge solidified Naruto's resolve to take down the Akatsuki and stop their plans before they could unleash such devastation. Naruto also wanted to change the current ninja system. The nations were constantly at odds, separate and destroying one another. They used the tailed beasts as nuclear weapons, spreading fear and chaos. Even as a god of destruction, Naruto yearned for peace and balance. He decided it was time to reveal his status as the god of destruction (God) to the elemental nations. He wanted to command authority just as he had done with the Otsutsuki planet, making them bow before him. Fear could bring order where words failed. He had already informed Tsunade and Jiraiya of his decision using the communication device he had given them. Both were utterly shocked, but they understood there was little they could do. After all, Naruto was a god now. What mortal could oppose him? Reluctantly, they agreed, knowing Naruto's intentions came from a desire to maintain peace. Meanwhile, this revelation sent ripples through Zetsu's mind. The fear of Naruto's power weighed heavily on him. Zetsu, the manipulator behind many events, recognized that Naruto's strength far exceeded even his mother Kaguya's. Panic set in as he scrambled to expedite his plans before Naruto could intervene. Watching Naruto effortlessly crush the Otsutsuki king and planet had left an indelible impression. Unbeknownst to Zetsu, Naruto had already uncovered their history, including everything about Kaguya and the events that had unfolded in the past. Having dealt with the Otsutsuki, Naruto decided it was time to address Kaguya herself. He and Merus journeyed to the moon where Kaguya was sealed. Upon arriving, they were greeted by Tonari, who attempted to stop them. Naruto simply flicked his finger and Tonari was sent flying into a wall, defeated in an instant. The sheer gap in their power was evident, and Tonari quickly realized Naruto was no ordinary mortal. Humbled, he bowed and led Naruto and Merus to Kaguya's sealing site. Naruto observed the seal, his presence radiating divine authority. With a simple gesture, he broke the seal and released Kaguya. The rabbit goddess emerged, but the moment her gaze met Naruto's, she froze. The pressure he emitted was beyond anything she had ever experienced. Naruto's voice was calm but commanding. Kaguya Otsutsuki, I am the god of destruction of this universe. Your schemes and manipulations end here. Kaguya, in an attempt to gauge his power, launched an attack. Naruto sighed and raised a hand, releasing a small fraction of his power. The overwhelming force stopped her in her tracks, forcing her to kneel. From within the seal, Hagoromo, the Sage of Six Paths, appeared, his expression filled with concern. My lord, I humbly ask you to spare my mother. Please do not destroy her. At the same time, Hamura's chakra manifested from within the moon, his presence shocking Tonari. Seeing his ancestors appear, Tonari fell to his knees, his head bowed in reverence. Hagoromo spoke again, Lord Naruto, my mother's actions were misguided, but she does not pose the same threat now. I promise to ensure she remains under control. Naruto's gaze shifted to Kaguya. Hagoromo speaks for you, but I need to make one thing clear. I have already crushed the Otsutsuki king and made their planet bow before me. What chance do you or anyone else have against me? Kaguya's confidence shattered. She could sense the truth in his words and the immeasurable power he wielded. Her ambitions of harvesting chakra fruit and dominating the world melted away, replaced by fear and submission. Naruto continued, I was appointed as the god of destruction by the Lord of Lords to maintain balance in this galaxy. My duty is to eliminate any threats to that balance. Do not make me destroy you. Stay here on the moon, remain peaceful, and abandon your plans, or I will not hesitate to act. Kaguya, now trembling, nodded quickly. I understand. I will stay here and cause no harm. Tonari watched the exchange, his mind racing. The realization of Naruto's status and power left him speechless. He bowed deeply, understanding his place in the grand scheme of things. Hagoromo and Himura expressed their gratitude. Thank you, Lord Naruto. We will ensure she remains in check, Hagoromo said with a respectful bow. Naruto turned to leave, addressing them one last time. This is your only warning. If any of you disrupt the peace, I will return, and there will be no forgiveness. With that, Naruto and Meruz vanished, leaving behind a moon forever marked by the encounter. Kaguya, once feared and ambitious, now understood her place, and Tonari, humbled by the events, vowed to uphold peace on the moon. Naruto decided it was time to return to the elemental nations and observe how events were unfolding. As he traveled, events still followed their canonical paths, with Asuma's death and Sasuke's battle with Itachi taking place. However, this time, Jiraiya had not yet ventured to the hidden rain village. Naruto had already informed Jiraiya of his plans, which would soon come to light. Naruto arrived in the Leaf Village, only to discover that Sasuke had gone missing. The attack on the village by Pain had not yet happened, as Zetsu had manipulated Akatsuki to delay their plans. Zetsu, now more cautious than ever, sensed a powerful and familiar presence in nature but couldn't comprehend it. One day, as Zetsu contemplated his next move, Kaguya appeared in his mind. Her voice echoed with authority and urgency, explaining everything about Naruto's rise as the god of destruction. While Zetsu felt joy at his mother's revival, he was simultaneously overwhelmed. How could he explain this to the rest of Akatsuki? Fearful of Naruto's power, Zetsu retreated, leaving the Akatsuki team temporarily disorganized. Obito, sensing something was off, tried to contact Zetsu but received no response. He instead ordered Pain to delay the plan and bide their time. Meanwhile, the battle between Sasuke and Itachi proceeded as in canon, culminating in Itachi's death. Afterward, Obito took Itachi's eyes and told Sasuke the truth about the Leaf Village. Filled with hatred, Sasuke joined forces with Obito, albeit without forming Team Taka. Together they attacked Kumo, capturing the Eight Tails. Furious, the Raikage called for a 5-Kage summit to discuss action against Akatsuki and Sasuke. Meanwhile, Obito finally ordered Pain to proceed with the attack on the Leaf Village. As Pain's attack began, destruction spread across the village. Buildings were reduced to rubble and villagers fought desperately to survive. Tsunade and Jiraiya were both in the village, working tirelessly to defend it. Jiraiya was devastated to see Yahiko's body being used as Pain and equally shocked to see Konan among the Akatsuki. Yahiko. Konan. What has become of you? Jiraiya said, his voice trembling as he faced his former students. Master Jiraiya, there is no reasoning here, Konan replied coldly. This is the only path to true peace. Jiraiya shook his head, summoning Ma and Pa to enter sage mode. If you won't listen, then I have no choice but to stop you. The battle raged on, with Jiraiya fighting Pain and Tsunade preparing her 100 healings jutsu to counter the massive destruction. Summoning creatures flooded the village, causing chaos, but Naruto arrived with Meruz at his side just in time. Naruto stood amidst the destruction, his eyes scanning the battlefield. Without hesitation, he raised his hand, and a surge of power obliterated the paths of Pain in an instant. The air grew still as everyone around him froze, witnessing the display of divine power. Naruto turned to Meruz. Locate Nagato's hiding place. We're ending this now. Meruz nodded, and together they teleported to Nagato's location. Jiraiya followed closely behind, his heart heavy with memories of his students. Inside Nagato's hideout, Naruto and Jiraiya confronted Nagato and Konan. Nagato, frail but resolute, was prepared to fight until he saw the immense pressure emanating from Naruto. Jiraiya stepped forward, his voice firm but compassionate. Nagato, what have you become? This isn't the path I taught you. Nagato hesitated, his Rinnegan flickering. Master Jiraiya, the world's suffering cannot be ignored. My pain has shaped my beliefs. Naruto interjected, his tone carrying undeniable authority. Nagato, your beliefs have been twisted by lies. You've been manipulated by Zetsu and Obito, and Madara was never part of this. Everything you've done has been for a false cause. Nagato's eyes widened as Meru's projected the truth, revealing Zetsu's manipulations and Obito's schemes. His resolve crumbled and he slumped in despair. I was a fool, Nagato said, his voice breaking. I've caused so much death and destruction. What have I done? Naruto stepped closer, his gaze steady. Nagato, you can still make things right. Use the Rinne rebirth to restore the lives you've taken. Nagato looked at Naruto, his expression one of awe and sorrow. Naruto, you're a god. A true god. I never realized. Jiraiya placed a reassuring hand on Nagato's shoulder. You can atone, Nagato. Do this and you'll honor the path we once shared. With tears streaming down his face, Nagato activated the Rinne rebirth, restoring the lives lost during the attack. As his life faded, Naruto turned to Meru's, who used his power to heal Nagato, preventing his death. Konan, overwhelmed, knelt before Naruto. I never realized the truth. Thank you for sparing him, for sparing us both. Nagato bowed his head low. Lord Naruto, I pledge my loyalty to your cause. I see now that true peace requires guidance from someone like you. Jiraiya embraced his students, his heart heavy but relieved. I'm proud of both of you. Stay strong and rebuild the Rain Village in peace. Naruto and Jiraiya returned to the Leaf Village with Meru's. As they arrived, the villagers who had been healed by Katsuyu and restored to life by Nagato, gathered in awe. Whispers spread about Naruto's divine status. Kakashi and Sakura rushed to meet him. Naruto! Sakura exclaimed, her voice trembling. Is it true? Are you really a god? Naruto nodded, his expression calm. Yes, Sakura. I've been given this responsibility to maintain balance and peace. Jiraiya stepped forward, addressing the crowd. Everyone listen. Naruto Uzumaki is no longer the boy you once knew. He is our god of destruction, a protector and bringer of balance. Honor him as he honors us. The villagers, overwhelmed with gratitude, bowed before Naruto. Tsunade, still recovering from her battle, approached with Susun's help. Meru's healed her fully, bringing her back to strength. Tsunade looked at Naruto, tears in her eyes. Naruto, thank you. You've saved us all. Naruto simply smiled, raising his hand to calm the crowd. I am here to protect but never forget, we must strive for peace ourselves. My power is not an excuse for war. The villagers erupted in praise, their faith in Naruto absolute. From that day forward, the Leaf Village and the world began to see Naruto not just as a hero but as a divine force for good. Naruto was enjoying his 50th bowl of ramen at Ichiraku's, accompanied by Meru's, who was attempting to keep up with Naruto's insatiable appetite. The peaceful moment was suddenly interrupted when the two were surrounded by a squad of root shinobi. Meru's raised an eyebrow, his hand resting lightly on his staff. Naruto, it seems we've been rudely interrupted. Naruto sighed, picking up another piece of ramen with his chopsticks. Can't they wait? I'm not even halfway done. The root shinobi moved into attack formation, their weapons drawn. One of them shouted, by order of Danzo, surrender or face execution. Naruto didn't even look up. He calmly finished his bite, twirling the chopsticks in his fingers. You interrupted my meal for this? Before the shinobi could act, Naruto flicked his chopsticks with precise movements. Each one found its mark, incapacitating or killing the root operatives instantly. The scene was eerily calm, as if a master assassin had just performed a lethal ballet. Meru's chuckled. A little excessive but effective. Very John Wick of you. Naruto stood, dusting off his cloak. I'm not done with my ramen, but Danzo just made the top of my list. Hokage office and council meeting. Naruto called for an immediate gathering of all high-ranking shinobi and summoned the council to address the attack. Tsunade and Jiraiya were already in the Hokage's office, discussing the situation. Tsunade slammed her fist on the table, cracking it. Danzo has crossed the line. Maintaining root in secret was one thing, but attacking Naruto? Does he think he's above the law? Jiraiya nodded, his expression grave. He's always been a snake, Tsunade. But this time he's bitten off more than he can chew. We can't let this slide. Hayashi Hyuga, present as part of the council, spoke up. Attacking the god of destruction isn't just foolish, it's suicidal. If we don't act against Danzo now, it will be seen as a sign of weakness. Shikaku Nara added thoughtfully, we'll need to confront him formally. If Danzo is this desperate, he may resort to more extreme measures. The council confronts Danzo. The council meeting was called, and Danzo arrived with his usual air of arrogance, flanked by the two village elders Hamura and Koharu. The tension in the room was palpable. Tsunade didn't waste time. Danzo, you've been charged with maintaining route in violation of orders, and now you've attacked Naruto. What do you have to say for yourself? Danzo sneered. I was acting in the interest of the village. This child is no god no matter how much power he wields. You're all blinded by his strength, forgetting the dangers he poses. The room erupted in anger. Hayashi stood, his Byakugan activated. You dare speak of dangers when you've been harboring secret operatives and defying the Hokage's authority? Shikamaru's father, Shikaku, crossed his arms. You've done more harm to the village with your schemes than Naruto ever could. Danzo, unfazed, placed his hands on the table. You're all fools letting a child dictate the future of the leaf. I'll do what must be done. Suddenly, Danzo's Sharingan-covered arm emerged from beneath his cloak, and he activated Shirsue's Kodo Amatsukami, attempting to manipulate the minds of everyone in the room. For a moment, the room fell silent as the genjutsu took effect. But then a wave of energy surged through the chamber, shattering the illusion. Naruto and Meruz had teleported into the council chamber. Naruto stood at the center, his presence commanding, while Meruz hovered slightly behind him. Naruto's voice was calm, yet carried a lethal edge. Kodo Amatsukami? Did you really think that would work on me? Danzo stumbled back, his confidence faltering. You insolent. Before he could finish, Naruto released a wave of killer intent that brought Danzo to his knees. The room grew cold as the elders and Danzo trembled in fear. Naruto stepped forward, his eyes glowing with divine power. You're nothing but a coward, Danzo. Manipulating others, hiding in the shadows. Your time is over. Meruz raised his staff, projecting a series of memories into the air for all to see. The Uchiha massacre, Danzo's theft of Shirsue's eye, his experiments and his countless crimes played out like a damning film. Gasps and shouts of outrage filled the room. Jiraiya stepped forward, glaring at Danzo. How much blood do you have on your hands? And you dare to call yourself a protector of the leaf? Tsunade clenched her fists. You're a disgrace to this village, Danzo. For your crimes, you'll face judgment here and now. Danzo, desperate, activated Izanagi to escape, but Naruto raised his hand. A faint glow surrounded it as he uttered a single word. Hakai. Danzo's body disintegrated into nothingness, leaving behind a silence that spoke louder than words. Naruto turned to the two elders who were frozen in fear. Hamura, Koharu. You enabled him, supported his schemes. You will face justice as well. Meruz waved his staff and ANBU operatives stepped forward to arrest the elders. Aftermath. As the council dispersed, everyone was left in awe of Naruto's power and authority. Fear and respect spread throughout the village as the news of Danzo's fate reached every corner. Naruto, unfazed, turned to Meruz. Let's go. I've had enough of this nonsense. Meruz nodded, and the two teleported away to Naruto's planet, leaving the Leaf Village to reflect on the day they witnessed the wrath of a god. Time skipped to the 5 Kage Summit. Following Danzo's elimination, the elemental nations faced unprecedented turmoil. The remnants of Akatsuki were scattered, and Obito, desperate for allies, sought refuge in Amigakure. Obito's assault on Nagato and Konan. Obito, now lacking support from Zetsu and without Pain or Konan on his side, attempted a bold move. He infiltrated Amigakure, hoping to steal Nagato's Rinnegan completely. Nagato, now at his full prime thanks to Meruz's earlier intervention, met Obito head-on in battle. The clash between the two shook the village, with Nagato's Rinnegan techniques overwhelming Obito. Konan supported Nagato with her paper-based jutsu, forcing Obito onto the defensive. However, in a moment of desperation and plot convenience, Obito managed to take one of Nagato's Rinnegan eyes during a surprise attack. With the stolen eye in hand, he used Kamui to escape, leaving Konan furious and Nagato injured but alive. Konan quickly sent a paper message through her summoning technique to Jiraiya, informing him of the attack and Obito's theft of the Rinnegan. The 5 Kage Summit. The 5 Kage Summit was called to address the rising threats of Akatsuki and the attack on the Hidden Cloud by Sasuke Uchiha. The Kage gathered in the Land of Iron, each bringing their elite guards for protection. Tsunade represented the Hidden Leaf, accompanied by Kakashi, Sakura, Shizune, and Yamato. Jiraiya remained in the Hidden Leaf to safeguard the village. Raikage's Fury. As the summit began, the Raikage slammed his fist on the table, his anger palpable. That Uchiha brat attacked my brother and tried to capture the 8 tails. This is an act of war. He must be eliminated at all costs. Tsunade remained composed but firm. The Akatsuki are the true threat here, Raikage. Sasuke may be a pawn in their game, but he isn't acting alone. The other Kage nodded in agreement, though their opinions varied. Mei Terumi of the Mist Village remarked, "The Akatsuki have caused enough chaos. If we don't unite against them, this world will fall into further disarray." Gaara, the Kazekage, spoke with his usual calm demeanor. "Revenge alone won't solve anything. We need to address the root of the problem, Obito Uchiha and his plans for war." The Raikage growled, slamming the table again. "Fine. Then we deal with Sasuke when he arrives." Sasuke's attack. Just as in the original timeline, Sasuke, guided by his hatred and manipulated by Obito, attacked the 5 Kage Summit. His goal was to eliminate the Kage and further his revenge against the Leaf. Sasuke's team was overwhelmed by the combined forces of the Kage and their guards. However, the battle reached a turning point when Obito appeared, using Kamui to shield Sasuke from a fatal attack by the Raikage. Obito declares war. With the attention of all the Kage, Obito addressed the room. "The world has no future under your leadership. I will create peace through the infinite Tsukuyomi. The 4th Great Ninja War begins now." His declaration sent shockwaves through the room. The Kage, now unified in their resolve, agreed to form the allied shinobi forces to counter the imminent threat. Jiraiya learns of Nagato's loss. Back in the Hidden Leaf, Jiraiya received Konan's paper message detailing Obito's attack on Amigakure and the theft of one of Nagato's Rinnegan eyes. Jiraiya sighed heavily, his face etched with concern. Nagato and Konan have suffered too much already. Obito's growing desperation will only lead to more chaos. He relayed the information to Tsunade, who immediately began coordinating their village's efforts for the upcoming war. The war begins. As the 4th Great Ninja War commenced, the allied shinobi forces prepared to face the Akatsuki's remaining strength. However, Obito's forces were diminished without Zetsu, who had fled after Kaguya's warning. In his desperation, Obito approached Orochimaru and Kabuto for assistance. Orochimaru, still seething with hatred for his losses and his humiliation at Naruto's hands, eagerly agreed. Kabuto, now a master of Edo Tensei, showed Obito his trump card, a fully revived Madara Uchiha, brought back earlier than in the original timeline. The sight of Madara filled Obito with both dread and excitement. Orochimaru grinned sinisterly. "This war isn't just yours. I have my own scores to settle, especially with that so-called god's Naruto." Together they began mobilizing an army of Edo Tensei shinobi, setting the stage for an even more chaotic and unpredictable war. After that, the allied shinobi forces faced the Edo Tensei armies, led by Madara, Obito, Sasuke, and Kabuto's reanimated forces. The battlefield was chaos as shinobi from the 5 great nations fought valiantly to protect their world. Suddenly, Naruto and Meruz appeared in the center of the battlefield. The arrival of the god of destruction and his mentor shifted the tide of the war instantly. Tsunade and Jiraiya, seeing Naruto arrive, were overjoyed. Meanwhile, shinobi from the other villages who had heard rumors about Naruto being the god of destruction were skeptical. They whispered among themselves, unable to believe such a claim could be true. Naruto's mere presence, however, was enough to change the atmosphere of the battlefield. The chaos stilled as all eyes turned to him. Madara, observing Naruto with interest, smirked. "So, you're the one they're calling a god? This could be amusing." Naruto looked at Madara, his expression calm and composed. "Madara, Obito, I'll give you one chance to surrender and end this madness peacefully." Obito scoffed. "You speak as if you're above us." Madara's smirk widened. "Surrender? Do you? You expect me to believe that someone like you can challenge me?" Even as Naruto warned them, it was clear they wouldn't listen. Sasuke, fueled by his arrogance, stepped forward. "I'll prove that you're no god, Naruto. You're just a fraud," Sasuke declared, activating his eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. With a slight motion of his hand, Naruto sent Sasuke flying several kilometers away with minimal effort. The sheer force of the action left everyone speechless. Madara's curiosity grew. "Interesting. Very interesting. Let's see if you can handle me." Madara leapt into battle, attacking Naruto with his full might. He unleashed the majestic Flame Destroyer, a massive fire technique that had incinerated entire armies in the past. Naruto calmly raised his hand, nullifying the flames entirely. Not a single mark appeared on his clothes, further enraging Madara. "Is that all?" Naruto asked nonchalantly. Madara snarled and summoned his perfect Susanoo, along with several wood clones, each wielding Susanoo blades. The clones converged on Naruto, but he blocked all their attacks with a single finger, shocking everyone. "How?" Madara roared, his frustration growing. Even Obito, watching from the sidelines, couldn't believe his eyes. This can't be real." Naruto decided to escalate the fight slightly. He launched a single ki blast at Madara. At first, Madara laughed, thinking the small orb was insignificant. But when the ki blast struck, the resulting explosion obliterated the surrounding Edo Tensei forces and left a massive crater on the battlefield. Madara barely escaped using his immense agility, while Obito used Kamui to evade. Madara, now desperate, attempted to summon the Ten Tails using the Geto statue. However, the statue didn't respond to his commands. "What's going on?" Madara demanded, his frustration turning into confusion. Unknown to him, Kaguya had already been released from her seal, rendering the Ten Tails inaccessible. Elsewhere, Itachi managed to summon Shirsue's eye, which he had safeguarded rather than entrusting it to Naruto. Using both his own Mangekyo and Shirsue's eye, Itachi activated Izanami to trap Kabuto and Orochimaru in an inescapable genjutsu. The two, realizing their mistakes, were forced to release the Edo Tensei. The reanimation jutsu was undone, shocking Obito and Madara. Only the first and second Hokage remained, as Orochimaru had been unable to summon the fourth Hokage due to Minato's soul being safeguarded. The first and second Hokage joined the battlefield, witnessing Naruto's power firsthand. Tobirama, in particular, was delighted to see Madara being thoroughly defeated. Madara, now furious, summoned multiple meteors from the sky, attempting to overwhelm Naruto and crush the allied shinobi forces. The shinobi trembled, losing hope in the face of such destruction. But Naruto calmly raised his hand, summoning a small purple ki blast, similar to Beerus' technique. At first, Madara laughed, thinking the blast was insignificant. However, the ki blast obliterated all of the meteors in an instant, leaving the sky clear once again. Madara was left stunned, unable to comprehend what had just happened. "This is the power of a god," one shinobi whispered, echoing the thoughts of everyone present. Naruto then used Hakai to erase Madara entirely. His form disintegrated before the eyes of everyone, leaving no trace behind. Witnessing Madara's demise, Obito lost all hope. Naruto used a god-binding technique to show Obito the consequences of his actions, forcing him to confront the pain and destruction he had caused. Obito broke down, realizing the depth of his mistakes. He surrendered, leaving Kakashi to arrest him. Sasuke, still unconscious from Naruto's earlier attack, was also taken into custody. Naruto addressed the allied shinobi forces. From this day forward, no one is to capture or use the tailed beasts. Greed and war will destroy this world. If any of you violate this peace, I will wipe you out along with this planet. The Raikage, initially resistant, realized he had no choice but to comply after witnessing Naruto's power firsthand. Tsunade confirmed Naruto's status, stating, "He isn't just strong, he's the god of destruction." The war ended with Naruto's intervention and peace was restored. Back in Konoha, the villagers celebrated Naruto's victory. His friends, including Jiraiya, Tsunade, Kakashi, and Sakura, bowed before him in reverence. Naruto felt awkward but accepted their admiration. After enjoying a feast at Ichiraka Ramen with Merus, Naruto said his goodbyes. He promised to visit occasionally but emphasized that his responsibilities extended beyond the earth. Naruto returned to his planet, bringing ramen for his parents. Minato, Kushina, and Kurama watched proudly as Naruto continued his journey. Naruto also summoned the tailed beasts to his planet, giving them the freedom they had always desired. Together they lived in peace with Naruto watching over both his planet and Earth. Okay guys, I end this story. Hope you enjoy this series. I will upload more contents. If you didn't subscribe, please do it. Also don't forget to like the video. Okay, see you soon in next What If. Until peace.